Hi, I'm Olivia Barnes. On Thursday, October 17th, a protest and counter-protest happened on Van Meter Highway over whether or not the Mary Fisher Dining Hall should serve pineapple on its pizza. This protest was the first recorded protest to have followed the new campus demonstration policy that was enacted over the summer in response to the pro-Palestinian encampment and walkout protests last fall. The protests also set a precedent for counter-protests under the current demonstration policy. Max Ravnitsky is a freshman who organized both the protest and counter-protest. I found him surrounded by friends before the protest started.
My name is Max Ravnitsky.
Why are you doing this?
So this was an idea formulated by me and a few friends and acquaintances. It's satirical in nature, as should be made very apparent.
Satire of?
It's a satire of protests on Goucher campus, on the way that we protest, the demonstration policy, and then also just demonstrations on college campuses more generally.
Okay. Is this in any way a direct reaction to the new policies in regards to protests?
It is in part. I was informed of these policies after I emailed the policy committee about the posted printed materials policy, and I've gone back and forth on them. But Dean Smith mistakenly believed that I was part of the Vigil demonstration. I'm not related to...
You're not associated with those protests?
I was not associated with those protests. And he mistakenly believed when I was emailing him about bridge posters that I put up.
If students want to put up posters on campus, they are required to get the posters pre-approved by the Office of Student Engagement. Approved posters are designated with a literal stamp of approval from the OSC. Max encountered this process when he was trying to advertise for his Bridge Club, which is one of his other ventures.
And he linked to the demonstration policy, and so I read the demonstration policy, had some concerns, and when discussing it with some upperclassmen and other peers and friends, they shared similar, if not more extreme, concerns, and shared their desire to do something satirical of this nature.
Okay. And where does Max stand on the issue of putting pineapple on pizza?
Well, I have organized both sides. I think that should make it clear. I'm relatively neutral on pineapple on pizza. I do care about freedom of speech on our campus. I think it is very important, and I think that our community needs to have more discussions around these topics.
In explicit terms, what is your goal behind setting this up?
I'm hoping to foster discussion, facilitate discussion around demonstration policy, to satirize it, and also I'm mildly curious into the thoughts of Goucher students, both on the policy and, less importantly but more interestingly, on pineapple on pizza.
Okay. Can you talk more about the difficulties you got in organizing this through the Goucher administration?
Yes. So a lot of that has been reserving the space, and then I had to go in person to talk to Dean Smith, 30-minute meeting. I had to fill out a bunch of forms to go into that, and I had to give a lot of personal information. I had to put my name on everything, and that has now been widely shared.
Right.
For good and bad. And I found some issues on the demonstration policy. Some links were not working. I've contacted Dean Smith. They should be updated.
As of October 24th, the link to the Student Code of Conduct is still broken on the demonstration policy.
On the demonstration policy, it links to a page that says for students to go through OSC, but it also says for non-RSOs to go through the events conferences office. So I went to events conferences. They were like, we do not organize demonstrations. We have nothing to do with this. But if you would like to register the event, you can do it directly. Then I could not do that. I was redirected to IT. They informed me that no students are allowed to reserve any locations on campus, even though under the policy you are required to reserve a location before any demonstration. There's only 5 locations that are available, and all of them are outside, so no rain locations. And then they sent me back to the office conferences and stuff. So I asked them about it again, and they sent me to OSC. And then I got follow-up emails from Chief Financial Officer Brian Huxley and he said that all non-RSO students need a sponsoring office to reserve a space.
An RSO is a registered student organization, like a club or an affinity group.
And then I've since emailed Dean Smith and asked him to be the sponsoring office because his office is responsible for all demonstrations, and his office is the one that requires me to reserve the space. He said that as the Towson division of Pineapple on Pizza League is not a Goucher organization,
Right.
even though all members are Goucher students, and it was just an informal organization that
Are
we
all
created at
members
Quindecim.
you?
No, there are a few other members. I did not single-handedly create this organization, much as I'd like to take credit. So then I went to Dean Smith and said, as a single student, I'd like to reserve the space. I have not heard back from him because
So you don't have a reserved space?
I don't currently have a reserved space because it has taken all of a week, and every office has basically said, we don't reserve spaces for the demonstration policy because they don't want to be involved in any demonstrations, which makes perfect sense. And the one office that does deal with demonstrations doesn't want to do it for organizations, only for single students. And so I've asked, but I received that email from Dean Smith and replied like an hour ago, so I don't...
Did you get an impression in the process of setting this up that the current system for organizing protests encourages students or even allows them in a neutral way to set up protests?
I question whether the policy was designed to punish students who are demonstrating in ways on things the college administration does not like.
Right.
Because of how broad the definition of demonstration is, so broad that I think it may be designed so that if there's anything going on that the college administration does not like, they can find it in violation of this policy. And I think that might be part of the reason of its creation. And its very strict nature makes me believe that it doesn't currently encourage students to express themselves freely.
The event started with just Max, myself, and a single other protester, but that didn't stop him from trying to pull people in.
Is anyone else joining our protest? Okay.
Two people.
And also, some of the people who helped me come up with this idea have not shown up either. So, this is a great turnout.
Yeah. Max started handing out flyers to the two protesters. They each had a QR code that linked to petitions for and against pineapple on pizza. These petitions would later be submitted to administrators and the school's caterer Bon Appetit.
This is not a flyer. This is a banner.
Are you not allowed to hand out flyers?
You're not allowed to hand out flyers without extra permission, and I'm not doing that. Stupid. I did enough of the bureaucracy. I'm not doing the flyer bureaucracy.
I'm not allowed to hand out flyers.
Eventually, more students showed up.
So I will note that we have 5 people who are here for the protest.
Are you counting yourself?
Yeah.
Prior to the protest, the Office of Student Affairs sent an email to all students about the protest. The email included, quote, "We respect the students' right to express their concerns and stand against issues that are important to them, such as bias, racism, and intolerance," unquote. Students named Blue and Echo had this to say.
I feel like them setting out an email like that where they didn't change the template at all felt very stupid for something like this, where it's literally a satire thing, and they said, no, we're going to send the same template. Bias, racism, and intolerance for pineapple on pizza?
Yeah, we're racist. We're racist.
Apparently.
Some students did show up to express their actual opinions on pineapple on pizza. I interviewed this student while my fellow reporter Jimmy Kuhn stopped by. Jimmy wore a bright orange coat as he hijacked my story.
Hi, I'm Christina, and I believe in a good antagonist. I believe pineapple belongs on pizza. Because, like...
What about, is there
you need a villain in every story.
Is there any subtext here we would like to recount?
You need a villain, is what I'm saying. You need a villain.
Ooh.
You need a villain in every story.
You need a villain. Who may that villain be?
Pineapple on pizza. Why would you take it out?
Why would you take it out?
That's what I just said.
Perhaps it is to squash student voices that they take pineapple off the pizza.
Okay, great pumpkin.
Maybe great pumpkin. Someone said I look like I'm from Peanuts today.
On the opposing side were some strong opinions against pineapple on pizza.
Hi, my name is Saka Asif. I'd like to say, as one of the 5 most Italian students on this campus, I think that it's blasphemous to engage in pro-pineapple protest. I think that pineapple does not belong on pizza. I think they should keep that acidic nonsense off of our good, beloved pies. And you know what? It's my God-given American right.
I thought you were Italian.
And my God-given Italian right. My God-given Italian-American right to oppose this. Because it's honestly, truly a travesty to this nation. I don't think enough people are talking about it. So yeah, I'm anti-pineapple on pizza. Keep that shit out. Also, I thought it was goofy at first until I realized that it was to kind of call out the nonsense of the protest policy. I think that's interesting, but I don't think a lot of people got that. But it is some classic satire. Whatever comes with satire means, you know, some of us are going to be laughing with it. Some people are going to be laughing at it.
What's your name?
Max.
Max? You're another
I'm
Max.
also Max, yes.
That's
Okay,
Max Frank.
This is Max Frank, not Max Rapnitsky. I'm here because I am a New Yorker and I care a lot about the pizza that is served in the dining hall because I usually don't get it because it's usually full of fruit.
You're against all fruit on pizza.
I'm against all fruit on pizza,
What about
let alone
tomatoes?
just pineapple. Culinarily, tomatoes a vegetable. So I'm talking culinary fruits. Tomato is not culinarily a fruit by classification. It is, I know, botanically a fruit, but
Okay.
that is not how it's used in food. Like
Question.
eggplant is also botanically a fruit, but it is also culinarily a vegetable.
Olives?
Olives are a fruit, I guess, but again, I think mostly culinarily used as a vegetable.
I feel like you're just throwing around culinarily to get around your own rules.
Maybe I am, and what of it?
You know, we've got your
Do you need me to say sweet fruits? Because I'll say that, sure.
there's sweet olives.
Yeah, but they don't get put on pizzas.
You've had Italians come in and say that that's the reason that they're against it. You're coming in as a New Yorker. Do you think you have more claim to opinion
No,
on this
Italians
than the
supersede
Italian?
my opinion on pizza in every respect.
All right.
So I cede to them. That's a good point.
Okay.
If they say pineapple's on pizza, which I don't think they would, but you know, then I would pretend I do not see it, but I would get it, you know. So
Okay.
I think if somebody from Altoona, Pennsylvania says that pineapple belongs on pizza, I'd say you're wrong and you don't know anything about pizza.
About 45 minutes in, I was able to check in on Mr. Rapnitsky and his protest to see how he felt it was going.
I would say that we've had like 30 to 40 distinct individuals come and leave. The problem is, as part of the demonstration policy, we can only organize during business hours, and most students cannot stay for a long time during business hours, which makes organizing harder. We have facilitated conversations among the community, so I would say semi-successful, a little bit smaller than we had hoped.
Who do you mean by we?
Than I had hoped.
Rory Turner is a professor at Goucher who also stopped by the protest.
So my name is Rory Turner. I'm a professor of practice here. I think that what has been something I have valued greatly at Goucher is when students feel that they can take action and make things happen on campus. And I am concerned that procedures and policies are experienced as dampeners or obstacles to doing that. Demonstrations are a very, very charged and problematic thing, and I appreciate the tricky position this puts administrators in.
Yeah.
But I think this demonstration and counter-demonstration uses the power of humor and absurdity to raise questions around how we can, as a community, better encourage people to talk with each other and to realize the nature of our institution as a place where we can learn from each other and grow and learn.
After it was over, I was able to get some final quotes from Max about how he thought the protest went.
The protest went relatively well. It was all peaceful. And
Were you anticipating otherwise?
with some of the comments I heard from peers about how strongly they felt about pineapple on pizza, I had some concerns, which I brought to Alex Perry, and he said that he had no concern with any kind of incident occurring during this. Okay. I told him I would do my best to prevent any incident from happening. Okay. I've done that, and it's been successful. We had okay turnout. We had, I would guess, around 40 people, but people came and left quickly. At most, we had 15 to 20 people. So that's decent turnout for Goucher, and we had some interesting conversations. Because people were leaving, joining so much, the depth of our conversations may be lacking, but I hope that those conversations that I started can continue into the future, and long-term conversations with the administration. Collected a lot of petition signatures. I'm going to go online and check.
Petitions for pineapple on pizza?
And against, I would guess that nothing was going to come of this in terms of pineapple on pizza, except maybe people are going to be talking a little bit more about it.
Do you think anything's going to come of this in relation to the protest policy?
So already there's a link on the demonstration policy that goes to the student code of conduct that was broken. I reported that to Dean Smith, and that will be corrected. In terms of reserving the space, I think that will be changed a little bit. And then,
like streamlined, you mean?
Yeah, streamlined, because no one else will have to go the full circus.
Right.
Dean Smith seemed to be willing to reserve spaces for students in the future who are non-RSOs. So I think it's been semi-successful, and the main purpose was obviously discussion, and that has started even before the demonstration officially began.
Well, I hope you enjoyed this episode. We're trying to do more in the future, so we hope you listen again. Bye.
Oh. Okay, I'm serious.
If I turn this into an audio piece, that is going in.
What do you say?